friends. Even as we look at, they'll say, I deal with students every day, by the way. Every day of my life. I told you I'm a teacher. And that's the best title you can call me. And they'll tell you, they choose because they are friends. Maybe when they want to go to home science, if you follow, it's because their friend is there. So try and have a discussion. And maybe we can ask you, we can extend to Monday, so that maybe we can do more soul searching. But I can hear some yes. Yeah, so that we can go back. Do you understand me? So this is the criteria you are supposed to use. And actually, this presentation, I extracted it from a document that was done in the year 2015 on CBC. It's called the Curriculum Framework document. Yeah? So it is there, and this is what we are expected to do. In a very summary way, in terms of the workload for your son or daughter, we usually have 45 lessons in a week. 45. All right? So you can see that those that have a 5, it means it's done every day, like English, mathematics. So everything else, Kiswahili is for integrated science, for health education, to pre-technical is also 5. They have really given it a lot of emphasis. Social studies, we have 3 lessons in a week. Religious education, 2. Business studies, 3. Agriculture, 3. Life skills, 1. Physical education and sports, 2. Optional subjects, we'll have 3. Additional, in fact, there will be 6 if you choose to. Okay? Making it a total of 45 lessons in a week. There are how many days in a week? 5. So, roughly, they have how many lessons in a day? 9. Sawa. So, when that person is coming in the evening, you need to understand that they are also tired and they have been doing quite a lot. However, what we are saying is that the curriculum at the junior secondary school is a generalist curriculum. It's broad. We touch on everything. We want them to sample everything. And that's why, even when we were saying, where do we domicile this junior secondary school, it was very easy to domicile it within the primary school, because there's no specialization. We are just letting them understand everything, because these learners are still very young. And therefore, don't worry, because even when we talk about integrated science, and I know we have been saying it is a combination of physics, chem, and bio. It's not very detailed. I get it. Not like the way we used to know it, pure sciences and all that. So it's a generalist curriculum, and it exposes them to everything. Now, that's how our timetable looks like. Ideally, I'll share this to you. And I want to talk about the senior secondary, because now that will help us to put into perspective the optional subjects and why we must choose and choose wisely. So the senior secondary comprises of 3 years. So grade 10, 11, and 12. And we are saying the learners at that age are at 15 or 17 years. Very, very important. Sometimes teachers don't share a lot of the things they go through. But as I was listening to Daktari here, I could relate with a lot of those things that he's talking about. The challenges that we have, discipline, children who still have a lot of conflict in terms of identity, because there are a lot of influences that are coming through. And this person is just 13, so they don't know who they are. And they're still trying to find even their space. Have you ever wondered, how difficult it is even for a child to get acceptance in a group, to get a friend? And that's why when they come home and they tell you, so and so told me they are not my friends. By the way, that is a very serious thing to that child. Because, they feel rejected. So don't dismiss it. Take your seat and have a conversation. Help them, let them tell you how they feel and help them to navigate through it. Okay, parents? Yeah? Because now this is where, because they are looking for identity, they will probably fall in the wrong company. So at grade 10, 11, and 12, they'll be a little bit older because the drama of teenagehood would maybe be fading away. That is at the senior secondary. And we are saying it lays the foundation for further education and training at the tertiary level and the world of work. So, and that's why the specialization will come in at grade 10, 11, and 12. Because even in terms of decision making for this learner, they will be a bit grown up. And we are saying it marks the end of the basic education as defined by the Education Act. Learners exiting this level are expected to be empowered, engaged, and ethical citizens. This is the vision of CBC. And your children, because they are the pioneers, we have been taking them through CBC all these years. We want to see in the year 2029, just before the Vision 2030, whether they will actually be empowered, engaged, and ethical citizens. And then schools will be specialized institutions, and I already said that. So there will no longer be categorizations according to national, extra-county. So a school will be telling us what pathway are they offering. Sawa sawa. And so we all want to go to Alliance and all those other national schools. So now they'll be telling us which are their pathways, because that is how specialization will be. And if you look, there will be 3 pathways at the senior secondary school. And all those 3 pathways have 9 tracks, and I'll be explaining to you. So there's a pathway, then on that pathway, that's what we mean by tracks. And they will be divided like this. So the STEM pathway will take the majority of learners. And this will be 60%. So 60% of learners will be expected to fall where? Under STEM. Whereby we have 8% may fall under pure sciences, 12% applied sciences, 15% engineering, and CTS, which is career and technical studies, taking the biggest chunk of STEM students because they will be taking 25%. So when you see those numbers, what goes on in your mind? If you were to do, probability, what do you say? Probability of a child being admitted, which is the most probable pathway? STEM. So that is something you put where? At the back of your mind. Now, for the other pathways, the social sciences pathway will be taking 25 or absorbing 25% of our students. And in the social sciences, we have 8% each for languages, just 8%. And 9% for humanities and business studies. Remember we said business studies is a compulsory subject. So the compulsory subjects are not to be ignored. They will also contribute to where your child falls. Okay. Then the other one is sports science and art sciences pathway, which will be 15% of the students, 5% apportioned to each track. Okay? So that is very important. Today we usually say the national schools take like what percentage? Like roughly what percentage of learners end up in the national schools? 5%? Yeah, about 5%. So that is now what I'm talking about. So this away, because one thing, the government aligns education around, okay, education is guided by the national goals of education. They also align it to the strategic direction of the country. So where we are right now, we are talking about industrialization and all those things. And that's why STEM is actually being given a lot of significance. If you look at even the 2030 vision, 2030, a lot of emphasis is actually put around that. And that's why STEM is a very significant pathway for these learners going forward. Now, what is the rationale? And I'll say, in a very summarized way, that we want to give or to ensure that every learner is given an opportunity. Because the vision of CBC is to nurture every learner's potential. The previous system was such that there will be only a few who go to university, because the ultimate goal was university. Like now the candidates who did 2022 KCSE, do you know how many candidates are for KCSE? You can Google and get us that now. They are about 800 and something. Out of 800, I think, and 70,000, only about 145 students, 145,000 students got C+ and above. And I've not even had any parent question anything. Because we should really question even the government to tell us, what is happening and what is going wrong. And therefore, the rest of the students, because now if you don't go to university, then they say you failed. So now that's the Kenyan culture. But does it mean that you are a failure, really? Alright? So, and that's what now CBC is trying to demystify. That the fact that you didn't qualify to go to the university, because not everybody should go to university. Hello, parents. And not everybody should be number one. Yes? Parents were number one. So when they ask me for the report from here, which now I'm glad now CBC is not ranking, so we don't have a lot of explanations to make. So really, therefore, everybody, as we go through this system, everybody becomes a success in their own right. So if you end up in the university, tick. If you end up in the tertiary world, if you end up in the pre-vocational, if you end up in the world of work, it is okay. Because you will have been equipped adequately through this education until grade 12, that you can actually leave grade 12 and just go and work. That's like that. And that's why we are saying we are giving that student a certificate of basic education. So with that certificate, they can actually go looking for work. And they say, I went to this school of STEM and I was taught plumbing. Because I'll show you that. And they will be able to do even basic plumbing work. I went to this school and I was taught boxing because of the sports science. Or I went to this school and I can be able to do gym, I can be a gym instructor. Because at the end of grade 12, you have the basic skills. So that is what we are talking about. And, providing learners with an education that is relevant. Yeah? You will agree with me that some of the courses, and that's why even the government is really pushing our universities to review some of those courses. Because they are no longer relevant. Today, Mr. Shah was telling us, some years back, we used to have attendants attending to the car park. Where we pay. But nowadays, it's a machine. Nowadays, banking, You have to go to the banking hall. Are you getting? Yeah? So most of these things are actually being phased out. And if you are not in tandem with where the world or the global trends are, then we'll be complaining that our youth don't have jobs. And that's why if you look at the curriculum for CBC, even at grade 7, 8, and 9, a lot of emphasis is being laid on entrepreneurship. So even, for example, the optional subject of home science, they will tell you what can you do with home science. You know, what is entrepreneurship in visual arts? I was looking the other day at the grade 8, because I sit in the technical bench for KICT, and I was looking at the curriculum for visual arts. And one of the strands they will be covering at grade 8 will be about marketing of artwork. How do you market after you have grown? How do you market your artwork? And even one of the things it was asking, what are some of the things that can influence a buyer to buy your artwork? And I was very happy to see. One of them is how you yourself are presenting. That one really made me excited. Because we are at a place where we are even arguing with schools about dress code, I don't know what, we want children to be anyhow, anything. And I was looking, I don't know about art myself much. But sometimes I quarrel because I'm very structured myself. So you see, with a musician, I don't have to cut my, what are those things called, ragged clothes, or I have dreadlocks, but they need to be neat. And because I'm an artist, you see some people, they will be very shaggy. And in fact, now these learners at grade 8 in visual arts, they will be trained. That, by the way, one of the things that will influence people from buying your artwork is the way you yourself are present. Another way is communication. The other one is, of course, pricing. And the beautiful curriculum is even teaching these grade 8s how to cost artwork. What are some of the things that you consider when you are costing artwork? And it was talking about the number of hours, how much time. Are there any artists in this? Any parents who are in the visual arts space? So, I visited the museum the other day during this short break with our daughter in class 8, because she said she went to the museum a long time ago. And museum has really transformed, and there's a whole section on art. And some of those artworks were going for as much as 150,000 shillings. So these learners, we have first to visit an art gallery and they see, then they'll be like, they can make money. See, we all do what we do so that we can earn a living, isn't it? The bottom line is to earn a living. So whether you are a doctor, treating people, good. If you are a teacher like me, good. If you are an artist, good. And all of us will earn a living. So they will be trained. How do you cost? The number of hours, the materials, I don't know what, aesthetics, and all those other things. So it is such a beautiful thing because it is relevant. And parents, by the way, I wish you know how much we are enjoying teaching these days. Teachers are my life. I've been a teacher for almost 20-something years. And if there's a space I'm enjoying, is the CBC space. Because you are teaching relevant things. The other day I was looking at home science. Home science has been nice. So they even were taught how to make a grater. You know how to make a grater? How can you make a grater, parents? Grater, you are great carrots. That's how you imagine. So in CBC, like from the canned drinks that you take, the good ones. So don't go giving them care because you have to teach morals and ethics. But you have to teach materials, Even when you ask for bottle toss, that time. insulting. Akila sort the smile off. Where sort now what are we teaching the children? So please take it as a sword, So you can actually use that can, and you just make holes using a nail. Then you are too greater. It was such a discovery, like the way electricity was. And these children were like, and they just made greater, and it was very beautiful. We have been cooking, we have been using many methods of cooking. And it's such a beautiful curriculum. And in fact, all of them, if you look at the things we are teaching in CBC, there are things we can actually feel and touch, and apply immediately. And it's nice. And that's why nowadays, I don't know whether anyone struggles to come to school. Do your children struggle to come to school? Because you are becoming suspicious. What are they telling the children? Nothing, imagine. They're just doing things they like and things that they can relate with. And that is what even the senior secondary school curriculum will look like. I am not a science person myself. I am actually in the social and humanities space. And therefore, as a student in high school, I struggled a lot with chemistry, physics, even today, by the way, I am the person who beats my calculator even to do simple calculations. But you say that I am afraid? No. I am not. If I do for you a report, you will be happy with very many words. Yeah? But now imagine you went to school and you're made to do those subjects. Some of us who are now in the space of STEM, and we are taught to do the stories. What are they called? Set books. You remember those set books? So it was you know what it is. Of course, if you are not in that space, you will not understand why you have to read and understand which set book did you read. The river in the source, And I know majority of you, because you are age mates, most likely, because your children are also age mates, maybe they also did the river in the source. And you have to look at who are the characters in the Akonko. Sasa unashanga now Akonko and what I am doing, But if you are a person in literature, those of us who went and did English and literature, of course you enjoy those things. I get it. But now with specialization, you don't have to be bothered doing a lot of things. And I started by saying the junior secondary curriculum is a generalist curriculum. So don't struggle with it. Even if you hear there are 14 subjects, but even they are just generals. I couldn't know you are analyzing this and this. It's really for information. And of course, each senior school is expected to make informed decisions with regards to pathway of choice. And it is nice, parents, because you saw the crisis we were in last year in December. And I thank God for a school like this one. Because we had already told you about the junior secondary. But can you imagine how parents went into a crisis when they were told, now the children will not be going to high school, as we know them, they will stay in primary. Are you aware in this Kenya, there are children in grade 7 who have never seen a teacher in front of them? Yeah, don't you read news? It is very sad. And parents, it's time. Even as we make the government accountable, please we need to start asking questions. Because most public schools, the children have never seen a teacher. Because those teachers, some of them were recruited, I think, in March, and they are also only one teacher to teach 14 subjects. You might say it is not of any of your business, but let me tell you why it is your business. You are here, yes, you have invested, you are a good taxpayer, until you are part in the government, but now, in the society, these children will mix. Don't you think so? Yeah. And some of these may end up in our houses as spouses to our children who we have educated very well. And that's why we need to be concerned. And we ask questions because it will affect our generation. And therefore my point is, let's not wait until 2026 to get into another crisis. Let's even start asking Mountain View, which pathway will you be offering for senior secondary school? They need to start telling us now so that we know that we are set. And actually that is the best we can have. Because the same way you are seeing sometimes the public sector not prepared. Even then, remember the 844 will still be there. Because the last class is now the class we are in. I didn't know we are classmates. Now we need to be seeing each other. We are candidates, the last 844. Because then they are finishing in 2028. So in 2026, there will still be 844. So why wait for another crisis? Start planning now and start making informed decisions. Within the 3 pathways, there are various tracks, and I'll show you here. So we say there are 3 pathways: arts and sports science, social sciences, and STEM. Then under arts, we have sports science as a track. Okay? Another one is performing arts. Another one is visual arts. So those people who chose, for example, performing arts, visual arts, are you likely to fall? Under the arts and sports science pathway. And there is no way you will not have chosen an option in performing arts, you end up in performing arts. You get that point? There is no way you don't do visual arts, and then when we come to grade 10, when unataka akikuhonga principal akuchukulie mtoto na hakufanya visual arts. Because the basics of visual arts were done well, the foundations were done well in grade 7, 8, and 9. And that's why it's important. Please, don't just feel at home. And then in 2026 December, mnaanza kutafuta teacher na we want our children, I don't know to avoid. They will be like, it is not us, they chose, and you say, if I'm happy, this form has made me happy because the parent has to sign. Sasa utatolewa hii form, nani ya design hapa. Unajua wazazi mnasahauki. So unakuta yeye na mama na push na you sign it. Even you should put a date there. By the way, waweke date. It's there. Then there is social sciences. And I'll be breaking it down so that you see those tracks, what is exactly in each one of them. There's languages and literature, and humanities and business studies. So if, for example, you end up in a languages and literature school, in the same way, should you proceed to the tertiary and university level, you will most likely end up in a literature department or a languages department of a university. Are you understanding the relationship of this? So don't just say it is in your secondary. So even when COOPs, is it called COOPs? When now they are selecting students and placing them in universities, they will be based on the specialization that you took in the senior secondary. Then understand we have pure sciences, applied sciences, technical and engineering, and career and technical studies. We look at each one of them in a very brief way, very, very briefly. So that you are able to make very informed choices. So for example, there are some core subjects. Though in college and universities, there were some core units, which sort of like everybody took, even if it's not related to your subject area. So like I did B.Ed, and there were some core units like communications. It was a common unit. So mnakutana hapo na watu wa BA wa nini wote mnapatana hapo. So this will be the core units, and you will see them coming up in a lot of the other tracks. Because now what I'm defining is the track. Sports is under which pathway? and sports science. So one of the tracks there is sports. So as a common unit, we'll be having community service learning everywhere, in all areas. Whether you do languages, whether you do STEM, you'll have to do a common unit called community service learning. Physical education will also be a must. Hata ukienda STEM, hata ukichukua nini, lazima ufanye PE as a common unit. Are you understanding? Then there will be something called, I've skipped that because it's not one of them, legal and ethical issues. So there will be legal and ethical issues in sports, legal and physical issues, legal and ethical issues in arts, legal and ethical issues in, are you getting? So the legal and ethical issues is also a cross-cutting subject. And then life skills. And another one is to say mathematics, English, Kiswahili will also be subjects taught across as generalist subjects. Remember even at I-44 there was paper 1 English, paper 1 maths. So paper 1, which was the easier one? Paper 1 or paper 2? Where you can select questions, So it will be a generalist mathematics, not the very technical. Technical you can find 10. Are you getting? So that you can be able to do calculations, you can write a proposal, you can write a letter of application. And that's why those subjects will be retained. So don't say because at here in sports, I will drop the languages, no, they will be there. However, the language you do in a sports school is not the same one you do in a humanities literature school. Now that's where you do those books and set books and analysis. Is that clear? Now, under sports, this will be the options. So you can choose to do ball games, you can choose to do athletics, indoor games, gymnastics, swimming, boxing, martial arts, outdoor pursuit, or advanced physical education. And a student will be expected to choose 2 from the options. Sawa. You know there is an art of ball games. I'm not a sports teacher, nothing, because I usually see them in the field and they'll talk about all kinds of ball and passing the ball. There's a chest pass. Go and ask your students to tell you. Is, how do you call this one? Passing. I tell you, it's amazing. You know, because you are told the reason why. Are you aware that your children have been doing gymnastics? Have you seen them trying to do the headstand? But then it's happening. I visit schools a lot. And when you go to schools nowadays, children are just insulting because they have been trained. Yeah? They only ensure they are safe. So don't worry too much when you see them doing it at home. So you can imagine if you are in sports or in the arts and sports science pathway, and you fall under the track of sports, so you will be able to choose at least 2 of these options. So where can this end you at? Which career path? Yes, somebody has said you can end up being a coach. What else can you end up being? A sports journalist, you say what? Instructor, you can be a consultant, you can also be a career sports person, like in a Kipchoge. Yeah? You know in Kenya, then they were just natural, it just happened. But you know you actually can learn and train yourself to be that sports person, and you become the best in the world. So that is what you need to think about. The next one, very quickly, is performing arts. As I told you, these are cross-cutting core subjects in all. So you see now, this turns to legal and ethical issues in art. The other one was legal and ethical issues in sports. By the people who did law, kuna kazi mingi, no, you need to start positioning yourself and aligning yourself. By then there will be a lot in education because these legal issues are everywhere. So we need people who have done law to help us to create curriculums for these things. Because a lot of our athletes, why do they end up in trouble? Because maybe they didn't understand a contract, and maybe their managers went with their money, you know, and that's why they have really given it prominence, the legal and ethical issues. So under performing arts, which is one of the optional subjects that you are choosing, what will be there is music, dance, theater, and elocution. And the learner is supposed to choose only one. So they can choose dance. Yeah? You know, in Europe, these things are there, even in international schools. I think when they're in a shule class, they're just learning dance. And they become the best that they can do. So they learn all kinds of dance techniques. And then now they can go specializing. And that's the beautiful thing about this CBC curriculum. In fact, because I've done some summary about performing arts in grade 7, 8, and 9. When you look at the topics, one of them is performing arts elements, that is elements of performing arts. How to create, that is creating. Creating is whereby you can create a song, you can come up with a script, even for a poem, for a song, for drama. Then how to perform it. So there's creating and performing. Performing, kwa sasa hapo ndipo mnaanza kuzumbana na mwalimu, so mwalimu anaitisha costume. Because this learner, if they are learning about how to present, if it is a folk song, so they have to dress in the right costumes. And they are learning the art of performance, how to project the voice, how to stage presence, you know, that is performing arts. So kama wako hapendi music, they need to understand. Because you know, these students, they are very funny. Yeah, nafikiria to know music too. Hey, there will be dancing. Now when the theory comes, all of them want to quit. Now tumesema after July you can't quit. You stick with it. So now these are the literature students, because they look at characters, if it's an oral narrative, they analyze the characters, the mood. Remember, like what is the mood of this week? What is the general mood? Happy? I hope so. Yeah? So those things, Then there's another thing they do in performing arts called critical appreciation. Like now the adjudicators. You know, when they're adjudicating in a judge here, what are the things they look at? You know, and they are trained in grade 7, 8, and 9 to be able to appreciate critical appreciation of performance. And of course, we have performing arts in the society. How is it applied in the society? So if your learner is going to choose performing arts, you need to help them understand that. It is more about drama, music, those things, performances, and it will help them end up where? In senior secondary schools, they'll be able to choose performing arts. The other one is visual arts. Visual arts. So visual arts, again, they are the cross-cutting core subjects, but then it has options of fine art, applied art, time-based media, that is photography, video, film, and crafts. So people who choose this pathway, where do you think they will end up in careers? Which are some of the careers they can end up in? Yeah? Artists, filmmakers, and you know nowadays film is a very big industry. It is so big because you can even see it in the social media, YouTube channels. Everyone is starting a TV station, even just using their phone, and they call it this and this TV, and it's very money. So those things will be taught where? Because even now in the junior secondary, under visual arts, some of the strands will be covering arts and entrepreneurs. So that's the first one. So they start understanding this art, where can it end you up? Another one is picture making. Picture making. So now the drawing, the painting, representation of, artwork, they learn about like the bird's eye view. You draw from the bird's eye view. You can draw from the, no more. Okay. Now actually worms. So a worm who is looking at an object, how do they see it? So they are trained. It is in the curriculum for grade 7. And they can also draw from the bird's eye view. So the teacher there now helps them to, how do you represent a shadow? How do you represent texture? Because when you draw a picture in a children, by the way, see some of them look real, so they are trained there. So now you need now, I'm telling you this thing so that it helps you now. When you go to have a discussion, you will look very knowledgeable. And you're like, you know what? And my son, my daughter, this is what is involved in performing arts. Now, there's another one called visual arts, multimedia arts. Because remember I told you, the junior secondary curriculum is generalist. So we are going to teach them all these things. Like now we are going to do photography. Like what these people are doing, film, photography, how do you take a picture? Unajua picha si picha tu. Kuna venye inachukuliwa. So we train them. And of course, the curriculum is the same, even in grade 8, only it continues to expand. Then, another one that they will do under visual arts is indigenous crafts. And that is now where the problem comes. Let me call it a problem. Indigenous crafts includes weaving. Our children, of course, because they are modern, they are from, I don't know, your homes, urban centers. Now when you tell them, and the indigenous crafts will do weaving, will do pottery. So they have to come with clay. And that's where now they are like, Mr. Ioni. Matope, na niye alichoose na mkachoose na yeye. Another one is carving, inaitwa ile ya kuchonga. Unaambiwa uchonge mwiko. Kama wakiwa grade 6, we had a project. Na sijui kwa ngapi walichonga hiyo mwiko. Walinunua. So, it's called carving. Yeah? It's there. Kama ni kijiko lazima ujue venye so that inaonyeshana hapo mahali pa kuscoop. So it's not all glory and beautiful, because in grade 7 we expose you to everything. Now that's where now the students start saying, I should know this teacher. And then now you can't be like, oh, it's not the teacher, it is the curriculum. Sawa. And lazima angane na grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9, and they do a Kenya assessment at grade 9 based on what? And the school-based assessment. So you decide on the kuchonga mwiko, so I'm telling you those things so that you know when you are selecting. And of course, when they go to the senior secondary, they can choose one, either as a fine art, time-based media craft, or applied art. Quickly, languages and literature. We have English, language, literature in English, Lugha Fasili, Kenya Sign Language, indigenous, foreign languages. Now, those who will choose the foreign languages, you can see probability of falling in the languages select school is very high. So if you did Chinese like you are doing now, and French, Kenya Sign Language, most likely in the senior secondary school. Utaitwa shule, lakini utaitwa ile wewe umekuwa ukispecialize from grade 7. So most likely you may end up where? In this. And of course in the university and tertiary education, you will still go in the same line. So which careers expose you to this, are you exposed to when you take this track? Which careers, parents? Journalism, parents are supposed to have a sign language interpreter. Every media house or news, they have to have a sign language interpreter because we have to have inclusion. And of course, you can also work in the foreign embassies and all those other things. The NGOs, media and journalism, they can also end up becoming teachers. Okay? Because you have to have that scope, and you ask yourself, because we said, as parents, we have a voice. It's not a TNA and say, where the world is. It's us who know where the news anchors and all that. Okay? It's such a beautiful thing. Then the other one is humanities and business studies. And this one is under which pathways? The pathway is social sciences, humanity, what is it called? The middle one. Able we refresh the dog so that we can, it's under social sciences. Okay? Pathway. So that's where you can end up in that humanities and business studies. So here, mostly it will be how you are also performing in business studies, because it's one of the options, and you're supposed to select a minimum of 3 subjects and a maximum of 5 from the options. Yeah? Because remember, this is social sciences and humanities. It's more or less like what we used to do in school. Pure sciences is under STEM, the STEM pathway. So under there, we have mathematics, biology, chemistry, and physics. So even as you are choosing for your child and telling them you want them to be, because these many subjects, which careers are associated with pure sciences? Medicine, engineering, those ones. IT is not even there. ICT is a cross-cutting thing. Are we together, parents? So sasa wewe ujiulize. Now, you have to even analyze the genes. Because maybe probability of. So you ask yourself those questions because they can end up there. But of course, these are subjects like, of course, integrated science, the health education. Now we are doing home science. Although home science will come at a later one, but I mean like how you can end up getting selected in a pure sciences senior secondary school. Okay? So even the core subjects are very important. And do you know, the danger of this is that unlike KCP and KCSE, which could be manipulated, so you have the stories that were going around last year after KCSE results were released. Do you know it will not be easy to manipulate? NEC has the data, right from when you were in grade 3. So, mtu ambaye ni science, hata huko chini, ilikuwa inaitwa science and technology, agriculture, home science, integrated science, health education. So hiyo data yote na mathematics venye alikuwa na perform, because there is no way at one day, unless maybe Shakahora stories, that you go and you become a mathematician overnight. And all along you have been getting approaching expectation. You will not end up there. And that is when the real drama will come. Because I don't care. Hey, I don't know CBC has failed. Nothing CBC. You know, it is the reality. Are you getting? So let's start working with our teachers. And don't wait for year 9. If you want STEM, and then sasa kuzingatia hesabu, integrated science, agriculture, all those sciences. Applied science. Now here is where we have agriculture, computer studies, foods and nutrition, and home management. So what you are home science? Those who are selecting home science, this is where you most likely end under the same pathway, applied sciences. Now here you are supposed to select one, either as food and nutrition or home management. If you take computer science, of course it broadens your opportunities for STEM, because you can see ICT is a cross-cutting theme or subject, but it is also given under applied science. So those people who want to pursue computer studies. And what is there in computer studies are very interesting. So in grade 7, we are teaching them foundations of computer science. So foundations ni history. Computer ilianza wapi? Na ndio maana when you choose for them computer science, first of all they will complain, why this is a history class? So they will be taught about foundations of computer science. Who invented the computer? What are the different computers? By then you know there were many computers before what you see now today. And they are analyzing each one of them. Some of them I did it below, and they are like, oh, okay. Before they start actually, in fact, I think term 2 is when they will start doing cables. You know how to connect a computer, looking at the different ports in a computer, how to match a cable to the ports. That will come later. But before that, there is the foundations. Because we are you know, we are not even touching a computer. Oh, that will come later. So there is foundations. Then there is cables and ports. That's a very wide, you know, how to connect. So in grade 7, they will just be looking at the different kinds of ports that are there in computers. Then they will do networking. And I said these themes or these topics are the same. Even in grade 8, it is the same. Only that the content will go increasing. So in grade 7, they will do simple networking. I don't know what they call them. Kama ile ya computer na hii. Sio network, okay? Then later, maybe they will do the one you can do even remote networking and all those things. Graphic design will also be done under computer science. So how to apply design and that comes under computer applications when we do MS Word, Excel, graphic design and all that. So we like to hear the big names, but before the big names there is work. All right. So you tell them it's not about being excited at oh, I like computers. There is also the history of computers that they have to do under computer programming. So that is where they are likely to end up. And these are the people, which careers are these? ICT, careers in ICT. Which ones are they? Software engineers, all those. Then food and nutrition and home management. Which careers are there? Nutritionists, dietitians, home economics, teachers. You know, you can do this and become a home ec. Because you have to connect, you have to see the full journey in the end. Are we together? Then as I end up, there is technical and engineering. Now this is where we have agricultural technology, geosciences technology, marine and fisheries, aviation, wood technology, electrical and metal, power mechanics, construction, media technology, electronics, manufacturing, mechatronics. And the learner will select only one option. This is what we are doing in career and pre-technical. And of course that is a compulsory subject. And we said it has been given 5 days in a week. And then to our teachers. You know, we need to lay emphasis because you can see there's a whole track under STEM that has been dedicated for that. And this is where now even they end up in pre-vocational courses. Yeah, you can see that. And of course, even in the university, they are there. Then lastly, there is under STEM, the biggest. Remember we said this consists of 25% of the 60%. Mnakumbuka hizo? Because we said STEM is the largest. Then under each track. So there is career and technical studies. And a learner is supposed to select only one optional. So here we have fashion and interior design. And this is senior secondary school. And for those of us who are in business, and maybe they want to keep a tertiary college, by the way, some of these things are the ones which were being done in these tertiary colleges. Okay? Like beauty, fashion design, culinary arts, hairdressing and beauty, therapy, plumbing, ceramics, all these, tourism, exterior design and landscaping, building and construction, garment and dressmaking. By the way, in home science, in home science, kuna textile and clothing, a very huge topic, because there are 4. One of them is food and nutrition. That's where even they cook. You know home science, eh? You remember home science student in high school? You wanted to be a friend to one of them because you know when they are cooking. By now, food and nutrition is just one. So another one is textile and clothing. They will have to look at different textiles, silk. What are the qualities of silk? What are the qualities of cotton? And now that's where the rubber meets the road. Eh? Then stitching. Remember they used to stitch even karatasi. By the way, if you choose home science, please, let me give you this as a tip. Because like now in grade 7, we'll be introducing them to the sewing machine, parts of a sewing machine, how to connect, how to do the threading. Please buy them a sewing machine. Ile na uzinunue ile ya stima ni ile ya hivi. But kuna hiyo ni ya stima, but ni manual. Are you getting? It will be a very good thing. So that when they learn in class, they can come and do what? Practice. The same one with computer studies. So if you choose computer science, please have a computer at home. Na wewe ukipata imetoanishwa, please usikeleleshe. Kwa sababu umeona wanafanya hizo vitu zote, networking, nini. Are you getting? Set up for them. If they choose visual arts, set up for them. Even have a camera, you know, because they learn photography. That's how you boost your student. Set up even an art room in your house. If you don't want them to be drawing on your walls, utapata graffiti kwako. So, but when you set up for them, so let's support them. It's not just saying I have selected. Selecting also goes with support. I remember because you have been told one of our daughters actually did home science. So the year of COVID, because she was in Form 3, and we realized she was really struggling with this. That we got her fundi, just a local fundi in the locality. And she would go there and this mama would teach her how to do the stitches, how to... And it was such a beautiful thing. And we bought her a sewing machine. And that girl just liked it. Because you know sometimes, of course, with the limited hours we have in class, we may not go all the details. Even when you are choosing class, you can align the club to them. Come how to a computer science, putting them in robotics also exposes them. Are we together? Yes. I'm just finishing. So now you can see